Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars, and it's time for a Luthier's Quick Tip. If you like building or repairing guitars, join the club by tapping the subscribe button down below. And together, we can take your luthier skills to a whole new level. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about fret wire. Uh, in fact, I'm going to probably talk about fret wire in this episode as well as next week's episode. And what I'm going to focus on today, though, is the material that fret wire is made out of. Now, typically, fret wire is made out of either nickel silver or stainless steel. Now, there are other exotic alloys, and I'll kind of hit on that later on in this video. But for the most part, people tend to choose between nickel silver and stainless steel. So which is the best to use? Well, I really can't say for sure. That's up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give you some information about the material and then let you decide which one to use. Now let me kind of give you an example of why I can't tell you specifically which is the best. When I first started building guitars, 15, 16 years ago, all I used was nickel silver. And I like to use it as a luthier because it's inexpensive, it's easy to install, it's easy to level, crown, dress, and polish. And so it was pretty simple, and as a result, it was a no-brainer to use the nickel silver. Now, as a guitar player, however, I preferred guitars that use stainless steel fret wire because stainless steel fret wire lasts so much longer. Typically, with a guitar that's been fretted with nickel silver frets, you can plan on refretting that instrument every 12 to 18 months. Of course, that's assuming you're a frequent player or an aggressive player. So 12 to 18 months to replace nickel silver fret wire. Stainless steel, on the other hand, because it is so much harder, you can typically go 4 to 5 years between refrets, and in some cases even longer. Now what's interesting is it starts to get complicated when you really dig into how nickel silver fret wire is made, because there are different levels of nickel silver hardness, and most luthiers don't realize that just because a fret wire is nickel silver doesn't mean it's all the same. In fact, I'm going to post a link down in the description below to a chart which was prepared by Dunlop, who is one of the major fret wire makers. And in that chart, you'll notice, I believe all of the fret wire that's listed is shown as nickel silver, but you'll notice that some of it is hard and some of it is soft. So you should be aware of that when you're planning to select nickel silver. You can actually purchase nickel silver fret wire that comes really close to the hardness of stainless steel, and that means you're getting almost the benefits of nickel silver or of stainless steel, but without having to spend the money, because stainless steel is quite a bit more expensive. The other advantage of using nickel silver is it's, as I said before, it's easy to level, crown, dress, and polish, and that means it's also easier on your tools. That also means there are a larger variety of tools really specialized for fretwork that work really well with nickel silver frets. I'm talking mainly about crowning tools, and I've got a couple of examples. This is a Hosco fret crowning tool. It has basically a trough along its length with teeth in it. And this is a tool that you can use to form a new crown after you've leveled off the tops of the frets. Another one is this one is a diamond coated fret crowning tool, and it uses industrial diamonds as the abrasive. Now these tools work really well with nickel silver, and in fact this Hosco one works pretty well with both nickel silver and stainless steel. The diamond coated tools, however, you really can only use those on nickel silver, and I'm sure there's going to be some of you out there who will say, I use it on stainless steel all the time, no problem. I bought this one specifically to use on stainless steel, and it lasted 12 fretboards before it was completely worn out. all the diamond abrasive had come off. And for what I paid for this tool, I decided I was never going to go that route again. Now, in truth, what I like to use when I'm doing my fret leveling, crowning, dressing, polishing, and all that stuff are the most basic tools possible. I typically use just a fret leveling beam. For nickel silver frets, I will use 400 grit sandpaper on this beam. For stainless steel, I'll use 220. And that way I can quickly and efficiently level the frets without removing too much material. Now when I recrown, no matter what I am using, whether it's nickel silver or stainless steel, I like to use a 6-inch Nicholson slim taper 3-corner file. And I've ground safe edges onto the corners. And this is what I use to recrown and to even do some of my end dressing on my frets. And I've been using this one file, this same one, for about 10 years now. Hundreds of guitars, hundreds and hundreds of stainless steel frets. And it's as good now as it was when I first bought it. It shows no sign of wear. So this is a tool that I highly recommend. And when you consider a crowning tool like this costs $7-8, whereas this one, gosh, I think I paid $52 for this maybe 15 years ago. Today I think it's probably 60 to 80 bucks for one of these. So yeah, and 12 guitars, hundreds of guitars. Anyways, I'm starting to focus too much on tools. I wanted to stick with the material. So nickel silver is the long-standing traditional fret wire material of choice. It just won't last as long. However, if you do your research, you may find there is a nickel silver fret wire out there that almost mimics the hardness of stainless steel without actually being stainless steel. Now there are other materials out there, and I'll put a link to a description below to a website. It's in Belarus, which is sort of between Warsaw and Moscow in the city of Minsk. And it's a company called Symptoms. And I've talked about Symptoms before. They make some really good tools for fret work. But they also sell fret wire made from a variety of different alloys. They've got brass, they've got titanium, and a few others. So check them out. And if you really want to do some experimentation, they would be the ones to visit. But right now, I guess the bottom line is if you want maximum durability and are willing to put in a little bit of extra work physically as well as maybe a little bit more wear and tear on some of your tools, stainless steel is the way to go. If you want to save some money and make it easier on yourself and easier on your tools, stick with nickel silver. Just know that that it's quite possible to find nickel silver that will approach the hardness of stainless steel. So in the next episode, like I said, I'm going to probably talk a little bit more about the size of fret wire and what you might want to consider when making those choices. So until the next episode, take care and we will see you soon.